Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Media Studies. Uh, Today we are going to speak about the transitioning from the challenges actually that came about from transitioning from physical learning to online learning for us as a students. To begin with, the process I can say was actually happened abruptly because for us we begin our university life in early 2020, and in the same year that early 2020 was first case of COVID-19 reported in the country. So the outbreak of the virus actually led to transitioning, since there was no other option because of issues like social distancing, keeping away from contact, such issues. So there is such issues actually brought about the abrupt transitioning to online learning. So for us, it was a big challenge for us. Some of us who had actually not well conversant with the use of the online learning classes, and I've never been to one before. So, and there were no tutorials where we were taught, or there was someone like anyone to explain to us how these classes, how to join, how to go on cut, how to find the notes, how to get involved in an exam. So I can say without any fear of contradiction that the process for me and most of my colleagues at school was difficult actually. Some of the challenges actually for me, for instance, that I faced was one was a network issue, another one was data, actually purchase of the MBs, and before the university actually issued us with SIM cards that actually really helped us a lot, because earlier on you find that sometimes you even buy data or MBs, then you find that your data expires maybe within a certain period of time, then you find that the class has just been postponed. So it was challenging sometimes, some people buying data, having that challenges. Apart from that as well, not every region where some of us they stay actually is well connected to internet, because some of us during the outbreak actually had to go to the remote areas, the rural areas, maybe to stay safe or to be away from the city, because there are too many people, too many. The cases at in Nairobi was a bit higher. That one everyone knows, and that actually brought about the challenge of network, because you find that in some regions, like place where actually the place where I was a bit, not every time, but sometimes it is a challenge of a network. Sometimes you are in a class, then you find that connectivity, you have a connectivity issue, you are breaking, you are not getting the lecturer clearly. So it was challenging, and there's nothing you could do about the network issue, because it's out of your hand, it's out of your hand, out of your, you can't make any changes to that. It's beyond your capability, yeah, let's put it that way. So you find that it was a bit hard. That one was one of the challenge. Another one was that you find during these online classes actually there is a challenge of a lot of distraction, since it was a first time thing. You find that there is, when let's say for instance you log in, you get in your account, you log into a classroom, then you find that there was a lot of distraction from around the environment, the noise, and one can barely listen, concentrate fully in class, different from when you used to sit in a classroom and there was minimal distraction from outside your environment. But for this one, even for instance, like for me, I usually use a mobile phone, and you find that apart from the distraction outside, actually there are as well very many and a lot of distraction coming from within your phone, like messages, calls, SMS. You find that it's very very rare. It's barely, one can barely ignore such distractions because some calls come in and you have to pick, so you log out of classroom, then you go back, you log in, you log out. The process you repeatedly happen, and sometimes you find that you miss out on crucial informations or important information that the lecturer may be giving out. So it was really challenging. It was really challenging. I can say it was difficult. It was very, very difficult. But as time goes by, technology advance, everything advance, and currently you can say that most of the services, most of activities we are involved in our day-to-day life are revolving around advancement in technology. Like for instance, the government services has been shifted from the physical to online application of job opportunities, application of services like passport. Such things are being done usually online, and you find that the transitioning at school also as well helped us to be more conversant with the use of the gadget, the technology, and this way, it as well brought about the benefits of one being closer to using such gadgets and being more and more learning about the activities, more and more involving with their technologies, and it as well, the transitioning, though it was difficult at the beginning. You usually say that almost everything is usually hard at the beginning. For instance, let's say for someone who just begins something, a beginner, actually has a lot of challenges. It was challenging, but with time we were able to adapt, and then after some time you find that classes you are able to be well, you are able to involve very well in classes, be active, more active like than before, because you are able to do away with some of the distractions. So this transition, you can say, as well helped a lot. It actually helped a lot because sometimes you can be held up somewhere, you can be busy somewhere, and then you find that it's time for class. And rushing, from home to school was a bit sometimes challenging. Being caught up in jam, other distractions on your way. So and this involvement in online classes actually brought about the being in a class, learning in a class at the comfort of your home, at the comfort of your, let's say some of us at the comfort of your bed, in your bedroom, you're sitting, leaning, anywhere, as long as you have the connection. And it was really, really good and made it easier, very easier. The learning process was very easy, I can say. Like for me now, right now, at first it was challenging, but now, I can say that. For me, I really prefer now for the online classes, because right now, if you tell me, and I'm sure most of my colleagues will also agree that online actually is much, much easier and better for us, to transition. Despite, along the way, although we had some of our colleagues dropping out, some of our colleagues differing, not going on with their studies because they had challenges with this technology network, the very many challenges they actually experienced. So they actually had to defer and do away with studies. Some of them later on came back and started their physical learning. Though those are some of the things actually happen throughout our journey in campus, but I can say that it's time for us. Actually, it's time. The current world, as things goes, it's time we embrace the technology. We accept it. It's part of us. Actually the things that come with the technology, we embrace. We catch up with them. And as well be well conversant with them in the future, because jobs, actually opportunities, come through these online gadgets, these online services. So it's time for us to embrace it and accept it's part of us. Yeah. And that's it for me. Thank you for listening to me. My name is Osman Bura.